Do you ever find yourself dragging through the day no matter how many hours of sleep you've gotten? Sometimes it feels like no matter how much you sleep, you just can't seem to be energetic throughout the day so that you can tackle your tasks and actually enjoy life. I think we've all been there. I know I have, and I feel like it's so crazy that this is such a common occurrence. In order to fix this problem, I've tried the classics. More sleep, better nutrition, regular exercise, and yet somehow the fatigue would still persist. So I kept asking myself where I've gone wrong, and I came to a conclusion that I did not like. What if I tell you that the problem isn't the way you sleep, eat, drink, whatever? The problem is you and everything that you do. So in this video, I'll share some simple adjustments that have not only helped me break free from this whole negative cycle of constant tiredness, but have actually allowed me to feel refreshed, ready to tackle the day, and to enjoy life to the fullest. Cheers. How funny would it be to spill that over my white t-shirt? We all love coffee, maybe not all of us. A lot of people love coffee. I know I do. But using caffeine correctly is really difficult. There's a bunch of facts that people just don't know about and as a result use it incorrectly and just self-sabotage themselves because if used incorrectly, caffeine doesn't make you feel more awake and also really impacts the quality of your sleep. We all know that not drinking caffeine in the afternoon is a good idea if you want to sleep well. But do you actually know how long caffeine can last in your body? There's a lot of talk about the half-life of caffeine, which is somewhere between 5 to 7 hours. This doesn't mean that the caffeine is gone after 5 to 7 hours. It means that half of it is still there. There's a bunch of caffeine calculators which are really fun to use and you can really see the exponential curve, how it goes down. Let's say you drink a coffee in the morning. You will still have some of that caffeine left over after lunchtime. The midday slump comes around, you decide to drink a second coffee. Of course, the new caffeine gets added to the residual caffeine and it starts going down. But by the time you're going to sleep, you might still have a lot of caffeine left. Depending on when you go to sleep, it could be as if you would chug an espresso shot and then try to get a good night of sleep. Do you really expect to sleep well after that? The solution is very simple. Have a strict cutoff point and don't let yourself convince yourself to drink more caffeine. I love my morning coffee, so I know for myself that that's not something I'm gonna quit, but I choose to draw a line at a second coffee at around 11 a.m. if I feel tired. Sometimes I try to not even go for that second coffee, but if I feel like I need to, I will go grab that. But then that was it for today. Yes, the lunchtime slump sometimes is still difficult, not gonna lie. But I get through it with hydrating well and maybe just taking a walk, going outside, looking at the sky. I don't know, just not looking at a screen anymore, getting some activity in. It helps. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe for other videos like this. Also, if you want to get a look into my everyday life, I post a bunch of stuff on Instagram, so make sure to follow me on there. Let's go back to the basics for a second because I meant what I said at the beginning. Just saying, I'm just gonna sleep more might not actually give you the results you want to have. It seems so obvious, right? Just sleep more. The thing is, we often have a weird perspective about how much we're actually sleeping because we keep convincing ourselves that 6 hours in bed is enough for us. Is it? Research does not agree with that. I've just read Why We Sleep and there's so much good information in that book. If you want to know a lot about sleep, read that book. It is amazing. We need a lot more sleep, like 7 to 9 hours is recommended. And sleep plays a huge role in our life, not just in how tired we feel on a daily basis, but in our health as well. The studies about the relationship between sleep and health are actually kind of scary, and it really shows us that we need to take our sleep seriously. We need to prioritize it. Weirdly enough, I feel like this is a society thing, but sleep oftentimes takes the least priority. We make time to work, we make time to see friends, we make time to watch a movie, but we sacrifice sleep to do all of those things. And that's not great. It is not boring to go to bed early and to want to have quality sleep. And you need to prioritize it. I know, it's way more fun to just continue sitting on the couch and watching even more episodes of a Netflix series, but you need sleep and you need to prioritize it. And this belief and mindset shift is actually one of the most impactful things that you can do when you're trying to sleep better. Don't let yourself gaslight yourself into thinking you don't need sleep and that you shouldn't go to bed. If you feel tired, go to bed. Listen to your body and stop putting sleep on the bottom of your priority list. It is absolutely crazy how much nutrition can impact our mood, our productivity, how our energy fluctuates throughout the day. I've studied nutritional science for 3 years. I have a bachelor's degree in that. And it's really hard to say this food is good and this food is bad. While some people on the internet might say that, I'm really not a fan of categorizing things as good or bad. But some foods definitely have an impact on our energy levels. And if you work throughout the day, if you work a normal 9 to 5, or you're trying to study and really be productive throughout the day, then I think one of the most important things is to have a lunch that gives you energy and doesn't make you feel sluggish and extremely tired. Because the lunchtime slump is no joke, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So, of course, that means no heavy lunches. While I love burgers, I love pasta, I love a good pizza, for me, that's dinner food. I'm not gonna say don't eat a burger, don't eat a pizza, because no, go eat that. But maybe don't do it at lunch when you're trying to be really productive. Just wait a few more hours. If you notice that something makes you sluggish after you eat it, maybe don't eat it for lunch. When it comes to dinner, I try to not eat too late. I try to eat around 8 in order to be in bed by 10 and sleep by 10, 10:30. So I feel like a 2, 3, sometimes even 4-hour window is good to have so that you can sleep well without feeling bloated and really tired. I've noticed that my sleep quality is way worse when I spend a lot of time scrolling throughout the day. What I mean by scrolling is scrolling mindlessly, just doom scrolling. Not looking for anything, not really doing anything, just wasting time basically. The thing with scrolling is, it's fun for the first 5 to 10 minutes, and it doesn't feel rewarding anymore, it's not fun anymore. It's kind of exhausting, but not really, because you're just laying there being distracted. On one side, you are distracted, so you're kind of happy about that, but on the other side, it's not fulfilling at all. Well, obviously, the simple solution is to try to scroll less. What I also find really important is to be more intentional with scrolling. Like I said, scrolling can be fun a little bit, just catching up on what other people are doing. Also, I post stuff. Also, by the way, follow me on Instagram. It's fun for a while, but try to limit the time and don't spend an hour or two just laying on the couch scrolling, because that really impacts not just the quality of your sleep, but also the quality of your day, and you feel way worse when you're going to sleep. Another huge thing is to be active throughout the day. I notice this is such a huge difference. When I get a workout in, when I go to university or work, I get stuff done, I feel productive, have time either for myself or to socialize or to do something I really enjoy. I feel so fulfilled, but also tired at the end of the day. And sleeping becomes this really inviting activity. I actually look forward to just getting cozy, getting into bed and sleeping. And those are also the nights where my quality of sleep is just so good. You really don't have to go all out. You don't have to run a marathon in order to sleep well. But little things like going on a walk in your lunch break, such a huge difference. Also going to the gym, obviously, or running, or taking up any other type of sport. That's really gonna help you sleep, because obviously you need to get the energy back. Have an evening routine and actually just romanticize the hell out of it. Ambient lights are a game changer. I love my little Philips Hue lights. I have Philips Hue light bulbs in my bedside table lamps, and then I have a living room lamp with the light bulb, and then I have some lights behind the TV. It makes for such a nice ambience. Of course, you don't need any fancy lights, but try to buy warm colored light bulbs for the lights you're gonna use in the evening and turn those on. Turn off any harsh lights, anything that's really white, like blue toned, and actual blue lights like TV screens, laptop, phone. I think we all know we shouldn't use our phone in the evening. If you are used to scrolling until you fall asleep, I know it can be really hard to go from that to reading and doing relaxing things, because the problem is you don't get that dopamine. Your brain gets bored, and the simplest solution for that is just to embrace the boredom. Do the chill things. Grab a cup of tea, get in your pajamas, turn on your ambient lights, grab a book, and just read. You will feel tired and then fall asleep at some point, and you will feel way better than if you've scrolled the entire time. Just embrace the chill vibes, embrace the boringness. You've probably heard this a bunch of times before, but the whole blue light thing is also bad for our circadian rhythm. Our brain gets confused, it doesn't release melatonin. As a result, we don't sleep that well. It's just bad overall for multiple reasons. So go with the yellow lights, and also go with the book or non-screen activity, whatever that might be. Also, if we're talking about circadian rhythm, get some sunlight first thing in the morning to reset that circadian rhythm and make sure that you are tired in the evening. Give your brain a chance to realize that it's bright outside instead of just living like a vampire with the blinds closed the whole day. Look outside, take a walk. If it's winter, I know that's bad. I also use the Philips Hue lights for that. I promise this is not sponsored, I just love them so much. I have them turn on automatically at 6 a.m. and they turn on gradually, which is amazing. Try to go to bed and wake up at around the same time. If you're working, if you have a set routine, this might already be happening, and that's really good. If you are a full-time student like I used to be, maybe you relate to this, but I used to just wake up at random times, go to sleep at random times. I could never get up early for the life of me. But then when I started going to bed at the same time, waking up at 6 a.m., like aiming to be in bed by 10, waking up at 6 a.m., doing the whole thing over and over again, I started waking up at 6 a.m. with no alarm. And I would wake up feeling refreshed. And I was so confused by it. I was like, what's happening? No, but I would just like wake up and I would feel well. And that was such an unusual feeling for me because I was used to struggling so much with waking up early. Yeah, while we might go out one night, we might just sleep in one day, that's fine. But for the most part, I try to go to bed at 10, wake up at 6 a.m. I feel like that's such an underrated habit that just makes your life so much easier. Of course, what we want to avoid is the dreaded tired but wired thing, where you're obviously tired, but you're laying in bed and you just have thoughts running through your mind. Maybe you feel a little anxious, but you just cannot seem to sleep. And you keep tossing and turning, but you still cannot seem to sleep. I found that the best solution for this is to have an evening routine through which you can just signal to your brain that it's time to wind down, to stop worrying about things, and to prepare for sleep. And also one of the biggest things is not spending time in bed when you are not trying to go to sleep. We want our brain to associate the location of bed with sleep, with good quality sleep. And if we're working while laying in bed, or we study in bed, or anything like that, we don't have that association anymore. So whenever I'm chilling, not sleeping, I lay on the couch or I sit at the desk, and then only when I'm sleeping I actually get into bed, because that signals to my brain that okay, I'm in bed, it's time to sleep and to shut the fuck up. Basically. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Quality sleep can make the biggest difference in our life and can help us feel so good and also so bad if we don't get it. So I really hope this video helped. Remember to subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!